In a video I made, I believe a week ago, or maybe longer, I've spoken about noticing patterns. In this video, I want to highlight how important it is to see the patterns of the places you visit. I want to specify it more. What you see here is a picture of Fukushima after the tsunami of 2011. As you can see, this part of that city is abandoned. Maybe now it's reoccupied again, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if the situation is resolved in Japan, but what you see here is a town with nobody in it. If you enter a city and you see this, you know instantly you need to get out of there, something is wrong. Well, in this case, there was radioactive radiation over there. So being there was dangerous for your physical health. That's why nobody was there. Now, you will not encounter a situation like this in daily life. Unless you are in a radioactive environment, of course. What you will encounter, however, are anomalies. And it's important for you to map out anomalies of the places you visit frequently. If there are anomalies in 5 towns near you, but you're never in those 5 towns, then don't bother with those 5 towns because you're not there. Bother with the places where you come, because those are relevant to you. For example, it can be that you have a restaurant. Let's say you have a Kentucky Fried Chicken in a town. It's near the tram. And you notice that every day the restaurant closes an half hour too early. You notice it, but you never go to the Kentucky Fried Chicken, so you think, oh, what does it matter? It doesn't relate to me. You're wrong. What you don't know is that in that neighborhood there are street dogs, that's how they're called at least, that go around to rob people. That's why the manager of that Kentucky Fried Chicken told his employees that every day they'll close a half hour earlier so that they can get home as soon as possible. You don't know exactly what's going on, but the fact that you notice that they close a half hour too early is a red flag. Because if they close too early, they will lose income. And the purpose of the fast food chain is to generate income. But if they close too early, people that late at night come to purchase some chicken, they can't do it, so they lose income. And you know that there are a lot of people who would like to purchase chicken at the last minute. So it doesn't make sense, nor does it add up that they close a half hour too early. They do it for the safety of their employees. But let's say you do pay attention to it. But then you notice something else. You notice that every time you're in the tram on your way home, you notice that there is this blue Volkswagen near the Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's not always there, but it's often there. And you think, what's wrong with this car? Why is this car often there? And then, what you don't know is that one of those employees that works at the Kentucky Fried Chicken is involved in the drug trade. He's covering up drug trafficking. So that's why the mobster placed one of his watchmen over there to check on that employee. Now, his co-workers are not aware he's involved in the drug trade. Now, you're not aware of everything that's going on, but you notice that there's this blue Volkswagen over there. And here's the thing. If nobody notices the blue Volkswagen, it will be there. But then it will go further. Soon there won't be any blue Volkswagen over there. Soon the mercenaries of the drug lord will just walk around freely. And they will commit murder. They will execute people publicly. It doesn't have to come so far that they will eventually execute people publicly if people notice early on that there's this blue Volkswagen over there all the time. So let's say you're in a tram often. Then you notice that there's this blue Volkswagen there again. Ask your fellow passengers, have you noticed that this blue Volkswagen is there all the time? Mention it to people. And if you can, be careful when you do this. Make a picture of it with your mobile phone without people seeing you. Because if they see you, you may get in trouble. Make a picture of it. Document this so that people can see that you're not making things up. When you notice an anomaly, pay attention. Especially when the anomaly turns into a pattern. But a lot of folks just don't do this. They live in a type of distant world illusion. They go to their job, they come home, their sweetheart's waiting for them, and that's it. They don't think about anything else. Or they may not have a sweetheart, or they may go to the pub with their buddies. They live in this illusion in which everything is fine. It's not. Or it can be that you work as a professor at a university, or maybe you're not a professor, you are a PhD student. Well, in some countries, being a PhD is not a student, in others it is, but okay, you're doing your PhD, so you're a researcher, so you're at a university often, and you notice that this chick that walks around often, she wears the same type of clothes all the time. That doesn't have to be an anomaly in itself. But you notice that she's always kind of hiding when she's walking. She is with friends at the university. You see her. She's a researcher. You don't pay that much attention to students, but you do realize that she's often looking as if she's hiding. Now, you notice this. You don't notice it for nothing. There is no such thing as coincidence. What's going on? She is involved in a bad relationship, and she has a stalker that follows her. So let's say you pay more attention to this woman who appears to hide for something. You're not going to follow her or anything like that, but just pay attention anytime you're at university. Then one day, you notice that there's this guy that's standing outside the doors of university. You walked to him and asked him what's going on, if you can help, and he said no, he's just waiting for someone. But then you notice him more often over there. Now you see there's a pattern in it. Now you know that something's up. And because you inform the security guards about this guy, the cops pay attention to him, and they found out that he was harassing, stalking, and even victimizing many people. So a homicide was prevented because you were alert. You only have to be alert. You don't have to know everything that's going on. Just pay attention. Evil operates in patterns. Evil is not dynamic. Evil is static. So when you notice a pattern, don't ignore it. Or it may be that let me say this. Let's say that you have this phone number that calls you often. And when you call back, the number is not in use. Then you call the police to inform them about it. But the police tells you, well, maybe it's just a number from some call center. Because it happens. Call centers use special software to call people randomly. They do that frequently to offer you stuff. But then you figure, hold on a minute. When is this phone number calling me? You realize it's often in the afternoon. Then it's at Tuesday or on Thursday. So you ask yourself, why is this number often calling me on Tuesday or Thursday? When you reflect back, you remember that, like a year ago, on Thursdays and Tuesdays, you worked part-time jobs and you were finished at 4 o'clock. And you realize that the number often calls you between 4:30 and 6 o'clock. Now you see a pattern. Now you see that it's not just some random call center that's calling you through some machine. You notice that someone is trying to get a hold of you. So what do you do now? You can change your phone number. And only give your phone number to people that you trust. Or you may not change your phone number, but you will have another number, another SIM card just in case. Pay attention to such stuff. Pay attention to them. Or it can be that on social media, you often send someone a message, but they often don't respond. But you see them online. But when you see them in person, they greet you, they're happy to see you, there's no negative vibe, nothing. And then you ask them about the Facebook messages you sent them, and they think, which Facebook message? And they check on the phone and say, oh, you sent me 4 messages, oh, I didn't see it. Okay, that can happen. But if someone is on good terms with you, they have nothing against you, they're not talking behind your back, they're just on good terms with you, but often they don't receive your messages, it is as if they just can't, you just don't see when you send them a message, then 2 things can be going on there. 2 things could be going on, I mean. Either it's an unclean spirit causing hinder between you and the other individual, often to hinder that other individual from being a blessing unto you, or you be blessing unto that individual, or, because this can also be the case, the Holy Spirit is protecting you. It can be that the Holy Spirit blocks that individual from being in contact with you. Why? Because that individual is not alert. That individual is the type of individual that will release information without them being aware of it. It's not that they talk too much. No, it's not that. It's just that they, without them being aware of it, they reveal things, maybe about you, that may trigger someone else to come after you. Or it can be that this individual is involved with the wrong crowd or in a wrong relationship, whether it's a marriage or just boyfriend-girlfriend thing, and that the significant other's individual will eventually be triggered against you. Anyway, there's some type of danger that's coming to you through this individual sooner or later. That's why the Holy Spirit blocks this individual from being in contact with you. That's why no matter how many messages you send, they just can't see it. It's not that they don't want to respond. It's not that they are rude. It's not that they are dissing you. It's the Holy Spirit protecting you. That's also a pattern you need to see. Again, if you are in contact with someone, and every time you're in contact with this individual, there's some kind of disturbance, I'm telling you, that's also a pattern. It's a pattern. Don't ignore it. But especially pay attention to your environment, to places where you are. Don't bother about the places where you're not. The places where you are, those are relevant. That's where the Holy Spirit places you. Well, that's it for now. Keep agreeing with Christ. Pay attention. You'll be at peace.